Former head of news at Russia's largest search engine, Yandex, essentially the country's Google, is accusing the company now of hiding information from the Russian people about the war in Ukraine. In a Facebook post on March 1st, Lev Gershenson tagged his former colleagues and accused them of being a part of the propaganda, saying it is, quote, not too late to cease being an accomplice to a horrific crime. And Lev joins us now. Thank you so much for being with us. So you can help us answer the question we've been discussing here, which is, even with the access to information that everyone has in Russia, that we all have on our phones and laptops and everywhere else, how is it that the narrative dictated by Vladimir Putin, by the Russian government, by the Russian military, seems to have so taken hold in Russia, even among young people? How do you explain the flow of information in that country?
Thank you for inviting me here. The question is not that simple. I mean, as it was said earlier, today, there is no real difficulties in accessing any kinds of information right now, or at least a couple of months ago. For me, the main question is whether people are eager to ask questions, whether they are uncertain, whether they want to find answers. And if they do want to find answers, then there are a lot of means to do so. But the situation with the media in Russia isn't that simple, and the situation with free speech in general and with free news sources, media sources, independent news sources is really difficult.
Yeah.
And talking about Yandex, it's quite simple. So Yandex has this news blog on the main page with a really huge audience, and only a very limited number of news sources are allowed to be presented there. So in addition to some laws restricting the freedom of speech, these top 5 news stories are taken only from, I don't know exactly the number, but not more than 10 or 15 very close to the government news sources. And so, in fact, Yandex is just spreading the propaganda there.
Yeah.
And one more thing that's important, that users, millions of users in Russia, they got used to rely on Yandex and to solve a lot of problems like in the everyday life with Yandex. And so they believe Yandex, and if Yandex tells them on its main page, then nothing extraordinary happens, then they can just persuade themselves that really no emergency, no war is happening. That's how I see it.
Lev, it takes great courage to speak out in Putin's Russia the way you're doing right now. What has been the reaction, maybe privately, and if not so much publicly, from your former colleagues at Yandex? What are they saying about the relationship with Putin's government? What are they saying about the way their company is being run?
First of all, and that was one of the reactions that I was told that I'm not that proud because, well, physically I'm in Berlin, in Germany right now, although a lot of my friends, relatives, and former and current colleagues are still in Russia.
Yeah.
So, well, it's a bit different. But the problem is that it's not that important from my perspective, where I'm personally situated. The most important thing is whether what I'm stating, what I'm saying is true or not. And if it's true, if they can share my vision, if they can admit that such a problem exists and that they, as a company, are somehow responsible for the quality of the product, and they're responsible what kind of information, maybe not deliberately, they are spreading among their users, then there can be then we can find some solutions, and I was ready to help them. But if not, if they decline this, then it's like it is. So, well, I didn't unfortunately I didn't get any meaningful responses any actions at all. So, well, the situation is like it was a month and a half before.
I'm sure there's some fear at work there from people who remain inside Russia. The former head of news at Russia's largest search engine, Lev Gershenson. Thanks so much for bringing this morning. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks so much for watching our YouTube channel. You can follow up on today's top stories and breaking news, or catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.